All right, y'all feeling good today?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
We here. We back.
Back with another episode of the Barber Cave Sit Down.
You already know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Today, we got my man Trend Cutta, Uncle Cutta, in the motherfucking building with us at the Barber Cave Sit Down. What up with it, bro?
What's the deal?
We back, man.
First off, I want to tell you how proud I am of you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna go into all that. I remember when you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, y'all?
Shit.
But we back, man. My nigga Danny came hungry today, man. So she got the popcorn because this gonna be a good episode. Today we are talking about mental health, man. Super important, and we definitely need to bring awareness around the world. I believe all three of us here have had our episodes, our seasons of mental health issues. May still be going through them now. We're gonna tap into all of that. So we definitely just wanted to make this a comfortable, natural conversation about things that we've been through, and getting help, learning how to get help from one another or from people that's dealt with some of the same things. So just to catch y'all up, to catch Danny up, for some reason I ain't never went to nobody's house and got my hair cut. I've been watching this guy for years. He said he's been watching me for years, man, and I love the way he cut and just the little videos he was making. I hit him up for a house call one day, probably about 2 years ago now.
Yep.
And just so happened, man, when I got there, I don't even know how we got into the conversation. But long story short, it turned into a deep conversation, and I realized that we came to realization that we both at one point was on the same exact medications, taking them in the exact same order every day, which is Xanax and Adderall. And I don't even remember if you had the Seroquel, but I had the Seroquel too, put me to sleep.
Nah, I ain't never had the Seroquel.
Yeah, so we just wanted to tap into that, man, because this is how me and him built that connection. Like I said, we was already following each other, and then just that interaction with us for the first time, it was like, damn, something was meant, like this haircut was meant to happen, you know what I'm saying? It was meant for me to be at his house that day and us to have that intimate moment and talk about what we talked about. So we're gonna jump right into it, man. I want you to start it off, Dan.
Everything happens for a reason. So, the same way we met, same way y'all met, everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
This is my first time meeting you, so it's good to meet you. I have followed you on the gram or whatnot.
Yeah, I was already following you.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. But so mental health affects a lot of people, but especially in minority communities. We deal with mental health and not even knowing that we're dealing with mental health issues. We tend to write it off as, oh, I'm tired, oh, I've had a long day, or you know what I'm saying, I'm just a little stressed, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or, we self-medicate a lot. You just kind of said that a little bit. We tend to self-medicate and write it off as today a new day, I'm gonna just try to do something different or whatever. However you choose to do it, you know what I'm saying? We don't address mental health because we tend to see it as a weakness. We tend to see it as a hindrance, an obstacle in our way to maybe achieve our dreams, maybe achieve our goals for that day, or even achieve goals for in the long run. So for us, it's very important because that's taking us out. Stress, is a silent killer, especially in minority communities. And it's a lot of people that, we might have looked up to that have dealt with mental health issues that we don't even know about.
Right, because they don't talk about it.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. Yeah, like, basically, I feel like everybody
to a certain extent,
at different times has a state of depression, anxiety, all this is mental illness. So everybody goes through it, they just can't identify when they're going through it, and I think that's the biggest problem.
Right.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
what we don't know, or some of us may know, but some of us may not know, is mental health is genetic. Fear is mental health issues, and that is genetic. Yeah. So what your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents went through all those years ago, you're probably dealing with today and not even knowing it. That's what we tend to call generational curses and things of that sort. So today is a very important day on just being able to be open about mental health issues and what we've dealt with as individuals, how we've combated mental health issues, and how we're able to stand here today and sit here today actually in front of you guys and be able to be open and honest and let you know that, you know, just because you went through it doesn't mean that you have to let it hinder you or stop you. You know, you have to find tools to help you get through that, and you have to find tools to help you every day.
Right.
It's not once you feel like you've healed yourself or whatever, it's done. It's an everyday battle. You never stop dealing with mental health issues because it's just you just don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The same way you don't stop washing your drawers.
You gonna have to deal with it.
You gotta deal with it. So you need to have some tools in place, whether it's professional help, whether it's your best friend, your cousin, your mama, whoever it is that you need to talk to, or whoever it is. If it's yourself, shit, you have to have something in place in order for you to be okay, because introspection or internalizing all that doesn't do anything but help you implode or explode.
Right.
So that's what we don't want, and that's what the stereotype on a lot of black people is today, is that we're angry for no reason, or we're, you know, we're something other than the sort of okay, and it's all due to us not handling what we need to handle in our minds and in our daily lives. So I don't know if you want to go ahead and jump into because you already kind of started it off talking about what you was taking to help self-medicate yourself.
I mean, it's what it is. I was on some of the same stuff like she said. I was on Molly's, you know, it's everything, you know, we used to do, not other stuff. That
for one, first, we want to let y'all know that at this day and age, right now, nobody is doing I don't even know how the hell you call it, under the influence.
Nobody's self-medicating.
Self-medicated, substance abuses and all that. We are here to tell y'all that these are things that we went through. Sometimes our doctors are street pharmacists, and sometimes our doctors are actually doctors and pharmacists that give us these medications. For me, it was a doctor that said, I thought I was going to the counselor. Y'all heard it before. They gave me medication. That's what I did. Outside of that, it was street pharmacists too. Tried a little bit of that. For my man here, I'm gonna let you tell your own story, but we're not saying that that's the way to go. We're saying sometimes we can get tied up in that, and we don't realize that our depression and our anxiety and everything, we think that at a time we think we have to have this. You know what I'm saying? And right now, today, we are just telling y'all that we are here, we are functioning, we are successful barbers, successful entrepreneurs, and we don't need that stuff no more because we have people like each other and other people in other situations, you know, that keep us going, man. So first, just had to throw that in there. We're not saying go take the shit. We saying that you don't need it. It's other ways to get help. So Uncle Trent, man.
Unless it's prescribed by a doctor.
Right. But sometimes it ain't right. Don't
abuse it.
Don't abuse it.
Take that.
Yeah. Nah, for real, y'all just hit that on the
I do have a question though. So my question to y'all is, being that you have battled with mental health issues in the past, how do you recognize if you're going through that today?
It's a part of life and it's a part of learning. So what I look at it as is, I don't take a loss when I feel down. I sit down, I might meditate, I might do anything to make myself calm down to see what I need to change in myself so this won't happen again in that situation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
You learn from it instead of letting it take you down.
Right. So
change your thoughts.
So you're saying basically, like, if you've been through it, you recognize what you've been through, and you try to apply.
Yeah, every time, because you're gonna keep going through it. Like you said, your whole life. I feel like everybody's gonna be healing their whole life because we're breaking generational curses. So with that being said, if we're breaking generational curses, we're not gonna always be happy. And you gotta be able to know, why am I down every time you're down, and then fix it day by day, brick by brick.
And that's the key right there, is like being able to diagnose yourself at the time, and being able to, like we just said, recognize what that state of what your mindset is at that moment. Because I'm not gonna say it's a state of depression, because you might not be depressed at the time. You know what I'm saying?
I just call it depression. I just say depression because I know for sure, like, we all go through depression. Some of us depressed every day we wake up.
So that makes me ask, what does depression look like for y'all individually?
And that's the thing. That's why I say people have to identify whatever it is to them then they can break it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
just start from there.
Yeah. For me personally, I know I still get depressed, but I tend to write it off as stress, and it kind of falls into the same family, but that's how I look at it at first, and then that's how I notice like, oh, bitch, you might be depressed right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how it starts. I'll be like, I stop eating as much. I stop smiling as much. You know, I stop talking as much. You know what I'm saying? And I just become very introspective. I'm an introspective person. So I tend to become even more introspective. I tend to go into a shell and shut everybody in my life off. And then I do what I do to
and
you.
it sounds like me, so it's the exact same. I don't know about you,
right?
It's the exact same with me. That's why I say I feel like everybody deals with this. They just, like you said, they're scared to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know
Because for me right now, I'm still in the stages of learning each one of my mood swings. Like, you know, when I wake up in the morning, if I know I have something important going on that day, it's kind of like I just automatically wake up just nerves bad as hell, you know, cranky, got an attitude, you know, but it's still like, I was trying to explain to my wife the other day that it's not, you know, I'm like, have you ever had a panic attack before? And, you know, she's explaining to me what the panic attack is for the time that she had one. And I'm like, okay, but let's just say that this key word is attack. So when you think about attack is something that's coming right then, right now, and it might last 10, 15 minutes. It ain't attack for me. It's just, it came inside of me.
Right.
And now I have to take a long time, more than 10, 15 minutes to release this up out of me. You know what I'm saying? For me to be able to just calm down and talk. It's not easy for me to explain to you what's going on in my mind.
And everybody's situation different.
Yeah.
So that's why I always go to, you know, once you identify what's triggering you,
right,
you can fix that
And
trigger.
you said that word is trigger. You have to know what your triggers are. And a lot of people still today, like I'm 31, and it's taken me 31 years to figure out what the fuck triggers me.
I'm feeling bad. It took me 36.
You know, through
I'm still learning.
It's a learning process, but that's what life is a learning process.
So I'm gonna tell y'all, I just went through a state of depression 2 days ago. Keeping it real on the podcast. Feel me, right? So, you know, can't nobody really depress you but the people closest to you, honestly. The people closest to you, when they say something to you and they hurt your feelings and don't have an understanding of what you said, it hurts.
Them the people closest to your heart.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just went through that, you know, mama. I love my mama, but she says some crazy stuff sometimes. I feel like we all go through it. You know what I'm saying? So, what did I do? I stopped myself because I've done it before. I learned from my last mistake, and I just cut my phone out. And she did the same thing. We was talking the next day like nothing happened. That was because I've caught my trigger.
1 second, y'all. Can you open the door for me? And just tell the person in the truck that the bags is on the front seat. The door is unlocked. I'm sorry, y'all. Nah, school supplies, man. School supplies. We just had back to school. We got some extra school supplies and tell people to come pick up the school supplies. But yeah, it's crazy just because you just made that last statement. For me, I would say within the last, you know, a lot of the last situations that I had going on, it came from the people closest to me. And that would be the crazy part, man, because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, when it's situations like it is your mom or a close family member, you never want to flash out.
Right.
You never want to get disrespectful. But I feel like a lot of times, even them, they don't completely understand what you're going through.
They going through
it's just their generation.
Yeah.
They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Says that for humans too.
That's real.
So I feel like the generation before us, they know we got YouTube, we got Google, you know, they know. But at the same time, it's hard for them to accept and talk about.
Cause they didn't.
They don't go to counseling and stuff like we do. They don't try to, you know what I'm saying? So I don't knock their generation for doing it, and I don't knock anybody for doing it. You get what I'm saying? But I just want them to catch themselves, and I am gonna speak my truth.
Yeah.
And I don't mind going through that small little 5 minutes. 5 minutes could be depression. 10 years can be depression.
Yeah.
It's on the person.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'd rather go through that 5 minutes of depression knowing that I told the truth and I planted that seed in that person to where they'll never do that again to not just me, but to anybody else.
Yeah, you have to set the tone for how people treat you. And if you're not treating yourself a certain way, then other people aren't going to treat you that way.
Exactly.
So, if like you said, you speak your truth, and that's very important because with older generations, we tend to let things slide. We tend to bypass things, and we tend to allow them to because we give them the benefit of the doubt, and we do say, okay, you know, man, he ain't gonna change, you know.
Right. I feel like we just let it slide because we were taught it.
Yeah.
We were programmed to.
Yeah, that too.
And I think that's a huge factor in it.
We were programmed to, okay, when whoop say this, knowing they said when we get out of their house, then we do what we want to do, but we still gotta go by certain little rules. It don't make sense.
It don't.
Nothing that they talk about really makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. As an adult, you got to figure, like I said, you got to figure out how you want people to treat you, despite their relationship to you. And that goes for me too. Shit, I still deal with shit with my mama, and you know, it's times when she say some out the way stuff too, and I be like, mama,
it hurts.
Yeah,
and it hurts.
And to keep the respect, the best thing I can do is say we're not gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna allow you to either talk to me like that, or I'm not gonna allow you to, you know, speak that on me because I don't accept that. And that's how I combat that because I know she's not open to, okay, Ma, let's sit down and have a conversation about why this made me mad and you know what I'm saying, why you got affected and what triggered you to talk to me that way. And there's no conversation like that. And I've come to the realization I'm okay with it. But I also know that, you know, there's certain things I gotta do with a long-handed spoon, you know what I'm saying? I can't move certain ways around her just because I know it might cause some confliction in my life. And for me to have my peace and my joy, you know what I'm saying, it's just certain things I choose not to deal with. If I choose to deal with it, it might cause me to trigger, you know, some things, and I don't have an outlet to talk about.
I feel like that's the biggest trigger. You know what I'm saying? That we know. You see what I'm saying? We know better, and we still do it. That's the biggest trigger.
Right, but
You know,
we know better about damn near everything, but I knew better than to have that conversation with her anyway. I've been up since 3 a.m. and I ain't finished my last house call till 11 o'clock.
On me.
I've been working all day. I'm gonna go out for anybody.
On me.
I did it anyway. So that was my fault. And we have to do that too a lot. We have to point the finger for real. Pointing the finger, all these other fingers point towards you. You gotta really check yourself.
Check yourself and look at yourself. A lot of mental health stuff comes from you evaluating yourself.
And you gotta be ready to do that because recognizing your faults and yourself is the hardest thing to do. It's like you said, you got a bunch of fingers pointing at you, but you only got one pointing at the next.
I'm gonna say at first, it's hard to do, right?
Yeah, once
like
you get
talking
used
in the
to
mirror, affirmations and stuff. Anything you do for a long time, you're gonna get a habit.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like you're gonna do that. My bad. You're gonna do that shit until you realize. Okay, say you get in the mirror today. I'm fucked up right here. Yeah, in this area right here, I need to fix that. That's fucked up. It might not be to me, but to the world and to the people I love, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
And once you start saying it to yourself and ain't nobody else telling you, it's hard to have emotion and keep slapping yourself.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not as hard as people make.
Yeah.
They just scared of change.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot be scared of change out here, man.
Yeah. Can you tell us, just because you're naming a lot of things, can you tell us some of your exercises, even if it's something that you're not doing today, just coming out of the stages of that you've been in before? What were some of the things that you did to help you maintain healing from it? Like you say affirmations, you say meditation and stuff like that. And honestly, for me, man, for a while, I was trying to figure out what the fuck is meditation. How do I meditate? Is it a right way or a wrong way to do it?
That's
so
different.
you know what I'm saying? Like everybody has their own stuff. So
yeah, I teach that to my students through my barber classes, right? So I tell them, cause they ask me the same thing. Everybody want to know how to meditate. They don't want to be a Buddhist. They don't want to be all that, but they do want to meditate.
Yeah.
So I tell them it ain't no right way to meditate. Meditation goes back to you catching your breath. Like I kind of need to do now because I have anxiety when I get on stuff. Like,
oh, why you think we start the way we start? That cool shit. I don't know about Danny, but
until
look,
you
I be nervous as hell.
just taking breaths until you any activity that makes you take breaths until you can control yourself because you can't think without oxygen. Anything, it could be smoking weed. Honestly, if that's your thing, your vice, like you say, you're right, I got something. It doesn't matter what it is. My thing is, I might just put on some headphones, block out the words, something loud enough with, noise cancellation or something. And I'm gonna just turn on some music like, and you could, on YouTube, you could just type in something. And
Right.
Like, I need healing with this. Or I want abundance, or anything. 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's actually channels on, it's actually like a couple things on even Netflix where it's like teach you how to, meditate or things for this. I know for me personally, once, like I have bad insomnia. So that is one thing that I started doing. I would put on sleep meditation music on Pandora, and I would just let that run until until I fall asleep.
I gotta do it every night.
Yeah, that's I play like rain noises and shit like that.
Yeah, so and you put on sleep meditation is usually like rain, the ocean, or like birds.
So I tell people like when you try to find out how to meditate the right way, it puts you back in like a religious type of standpoint to where you have to do it a certain way, and it's no right way. It's however, whatever makes you feel good. So that person.
So to me, the way I explain meditation to people is meditation is anything that you do that keeps you aware in present in the right now moment.
Right.
So that's what meditation brings you to. Whether you omnio and all that other shit, whatever you want to do, however you do it, it brings you into the right now, right here. Being grateful and thankful for right now.
Right, nothing matters but right now.
And
creativity.
And you're aware. You're cognitively aware of what's going on. Whether it be in your mind, whether it be in your spiritual being, your emotional being, or whether it be in your physical being right in front of you, you're aware of what's going on. And I feel like meditation is an all day, everyday thing. You should always be in a meditative state. And that's just my personal opinion.
Meditative place. That's what I call it.
Yeah, every day. I mean,
that's why you couldn't her. I know y'all gotta do
that's
it.
What I told her.
Like a client come in, ooh, they get on my damn nerves.
I take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And if it's a certain client, I put them AirPods in, baby, and I put my good music on, whatever I want to listen to.
Right.
That gets me, because I don't know, I know she know, I done told her, but when I cut people, I get nervous. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me, you know what I'm saying? I'm a nervous individual. Like my hands.
It's really like adrenaline though.
Yeah, my shit get the running. And you know, what helps me, brings me back down and is my music. And it helps because like I get distracted very easily, and I know that about myself. So I put my music in. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
Right.
You could call me, you don't do this and you don't do. I honestly don't care. Because
that's your form of meditation.
It helped me get to where I need to be, and it helps me do what I need to do in order for you to be satisfied.
Right.
And if you don't allow me to do what I need to do, you're not going to get the best me that you can get.
Right.
Whether it be me talking or whether it be me being butt ass silent.
Yeah, and I don't think you want that.
Yeah, you don't, because I can be a nasty individual, but I also know that about myself. Is if you do a certain thing or you say a certain thing, I'm gonna react a certain way because I know what my triggers are.
Right.
And so I try to combat that with always being in a space of zen. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't shit disturb me in here. I don't allow it to.
Right.
If I allow it to, I'm about to go home.
Right.
Because you done fucked up my whole mood. And once my mood is fucked up, I can't. It's hard for me to snap back into what I was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Like when I was back in the shop, my last shop that I was in, that's stuff that I used to do. Like I would just, I know this and that is really bothering me. They keep on the next cut up and gonna take me by order in the break. You know, I'm just gonna stop the cut. But I go to the Jeep and I just lean back, turn the music on 30 minutes, and I be good after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
You had your moments where you had to just walk away and go, And
you gotta make people respect that too. Like you can't allow people to just
have the boundaries.
Yeah, Exactly, and you can't allow people to cross those boundaries because, like I said, you know what you put those tools in place. That's a tool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you use that tool effectively to benefit not only yourself but the people around you. You're not any better to the people around you than you are to yourself.
Right.
And if you ain't doing what you need to do to be good to yourself, then the people around you ain't gonna be okay. Because 9 times out of 10, you might be the benefiting factor of whether that person's day is going sideways or not.
So do y'all believe that? And we said earlier about the generations, but do y'all believe that basically a lot of the childhood stuff, a lot of things that you went through in your childhood is like still somehow could possibly be fucking with you as an adult?
Ain't no
I feel like that's what it is.
Yeah,
That's exactly
like
what it is. It's everything from there up until
all the
now.
way, yep.
Yeah, I know because how we were saying triggers before.
Triggers start in childhood.
Yeah, exactly. So y'all already know, man. From jump, we authentic with it. We raw with it. And I come from an abusive household, a loud household. It's always screaming, arguing, fighting, and my daddy had this thing. He still got it because when he talked, he kind of talk like that, but it's the finger in your face.
And that triggers you.
It triggers the fuck out of me. And then when I'm talking to people, it don't matter, even if it's not it's not even got to an argumentative stage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you're
yourself.
talking louder than me.
Yeah.
And I know that you have some type of animosity or even your feelings are hurt about something, whatever it is. It's like that moment when you start moving your finger or thinking you can point your finger at me or put your finger in my face or just talking louder than me.
Right, like some action speak louder than words.
That shit, it triggers, you know what I'm saying? It triggers the fuck out of me, and then it's like, man, still at this age, 31, with all the blessings I have, it's like whenever I have my moments and I have my moods, it's like, why the fuck am I still a little bitty ass girl?
Because you have
Because
you know what I'm saying? It's like everything brings you back to being a little
bit
bitty ass girl.
We're never. I was just telling him earlier because I was running around. Went to the little Star Beauty Supply. I went to the Barber Plug. Shout out to the Barber Plug. I went out and I'm just running around, and he don't understand because he ain't a barber, but he like it because I just be running around like a kid. We supposed to keep our youth.
Yeah.
So we can remember how to be an adult. I feel like.
Yeah. Being a kid is very important as an adult. I tell everybody I'm a big ass kid. You know what I'm saying?
Because being an adult, I feel like it's really just being like taking care of responsibility.
Yeah,
it's not fucking hard if you ask me.
And
it's
if
not
you think,
hard to take care of
if you think about it, like a lot of the shit we do as adults is stuff that we wanted to do as kids. We chase our dreams are based upon what we decided we wanted to do as children.
Right.
And if one don't work, we be like, damn, you go in hindsight and you be like, damn, what I wanted to do when I was a kid. I did want to whoop the wham. And then, you know what I'm saying, you start to pursue that. And I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, barbering or whatever you do as a hobby or anything, it started at some point in your childhood, whether as a young child, a teenager, or adolescent, you know what I'm saying? It started at some point in your childhood, but the same way that started at some point in your childhood is the same way the triggers happen. But the way
I say
triggers,
it gotta be a negative and a positive
it
side
is
to it. You know what I'm saying?
It is a negative and a positive.
It's a balance.
Triggers, I feel like, are a positive because it lets you know how you react and how you receive love and how you give love. But our triggers can also be a coping mechanism for us as well.
Right.
So the same thing that we don't want people to do to us, we tend to do to other people as a coping mechanism because that's all we know. That's what we're used to. That's what we result to. Like, this is what, like the same way you said, oh, I don't like people pointing at me. It can easily be done to other people just because that's what you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you might catch yourself, like, you know what I'm saying? Or you might make yourself very aware that don't do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how
I don't do this.
Not to cut you. That's how I am. I feel like, I guess as much as I got it, done, I'll never do that. I'll never talk to nobody and be pointing my fingers in their face. I'm not gonna get. I'm not gonna get too close up to you. Yeah, I'm not gonna. So a lot of the things that some people, and that's a part of the negative and the positive to it. Some people they do shit because that's all they know. Like they was brought up doing that shit. And me, I do a lot of shit. I don't do a lot of shit because I know that. I know how it feel to have your finger pointed in your face, spitting, you know what I'm saying, nigga talking all close to you. So I'm not gonna do that to you. And then you know, and then you know I'm not, even at times where it's supposed to be like, okay, nigga, you need to check this, you need to do something, da da da. I'm not no type of confrontational person,
Right.
And that's just
It's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary. But then that is man, honest to God, the truth, bro. I had one fight in my life, not one fight totally in my life, but I had this one fight in my life, bro. And the girl had did something so bad that fucked with me on another level, to where the way I did her, bro, it scared me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that to nobody else. Yeah, the shit was recorded. The shit was recorded, and I know I'm looking at a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? Y'all laughing, Kiki, you did this, you did that, da da da. And I'm like, bro, I can kill some fucking body. And then I have another moment where I feel like, you know, at one point in my life, I feel like I have to kill this person before they kill me. There's two moments in my life that I never want to feel again. So I'm not confrontational because I have that reason. I know that, man, the two worst times in my life that happened, that those two situations happened, half of the shit, I know you, the first girl, I know you did something very bad that you ain't had no fucking business doing, especially not to nobody I care about.
Right.
But you ain't deserved that ass whipping you got. You deserved it, but on the level that you got it, I don't even want to hurt nobody that bad. So, and then it's like, when I do if I address a situation or something like that, my thing is I don't know how you gonna react to it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just always triggers that come up. Like, okay, if I can handle it this way, I'll handle it this way or whatever. But I'm damn near about to say a prayer before I even address you about it, because I'm praying that you don't come at me sideways about the way I'm trying to respectfully come at you about something.
I feel like you have
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like when it comes to, because you never know what somebody else is, and you could talk to a motherfucker for years.
And you don't never know what they got going on.
You don't know what their triggers are, and you don't know what their boundaries are if they haven't set those boundaries with you from the get go. And a lot of us don't set our boundaries, and we don't make people and we don't make people aware of what those boundaries are. Now I can't say in a relationship, if we're close, I'm gonna let you know from the get. I'm gonna tell you what my boundaries are, and if you cross them, I'm gonna let you know you crossed them, them joints. You know what I'm saying? I don't allow people to treat me or talk to me in a way that I do not talk to myself. You cannot down put me because I don't down put myself. You can't call me out my name because I do not call myself out my name. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things that you can't do to me because I don't do it to myself.
And it's certain stuff, I ain't gonna lie, I used to check too, because I feel like it'll make a situation better. But at the same time, there's ego a little bit and there's pride. So what I started doing is I just ignored that person because I realized silence kills you more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't check people. I don't check people.
The person will know what they did.
I allow that person to come to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I walk away and
that's how you kill the conflict.
That's definitely how I address shit these days. I just don't even, nigga, you know what you did. I don't have to even bring it up, but I believe that my silence, my silence lets you know that I know what you did. And at the end of the day, like now, the way life has been going, man, it's really like somebody do some shit, you'll have to come back, you know what I'm saying, before I come back. You'll miss me before I miss you. You know what I'm saying? I do everything with a pure heart and pure intentions. So that'd be the best part about it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you did something, you stole something from me, did whatever the fuck it is that you did, you gotta come back. You gotta make yourself comfortable to come back around me now.
I call it a transfer of energy. You can put it into your creativity while that's going on, and that person you let that person think about whatever they're going through.
Yes, sir.
Before that situation even happened. You start doing other things, hobbies, that helps us a lot.
So redirect that energy and use it constructively instead of destructive.
Because it's only energy, so it can be turned into whatever you want it to be. Just gotta watch what you consume. That's why I stopped listening to young boy ass.
Man, and that's a big thing though. Is we tend to.
We were just talking about the music on the last one.
we talk about music a lot, but my playlist always is based upon how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So, my music, okay, you don't know this, but she do. I love country music. I listen to country music and I listen to gospel music every day, all day, damn near. That's
good.
That's my
high
thing.
vibrational
Yeah,
music.
but
Right.
it's because of what they talk about. I'm very aware of the beats, how the beats make me feel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very aware of and how the lyrics, what the lyrics are saying, and how it applies to my life, and if it does apply to my life. And like you said, stop listening, man. I used to rock Young Boy, especially like in his early
Mhm.
Yeah.
When he first came out, I did too.
So I'm not saying it's bad.
But I was in the
I'm
streets
saying
when I was
consume
listening
that.
to
You-
that.
Nah, I listen to it now sometimes when I'm cutting hair. I have me.
You right.
But I know that because I don't look at stuff as wrong and right, really.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's perspective is different.
Right.
So I listen to that type of stuff. It's a time and place for everything. You know what I mean? Just like that.
Yeah,
I
my
listen to
adrenaline
it.
going down. I listen to some.
But I know if
some
I
off the
finish
wall
listening to
stuff.
that, I might need to meditate 30 minutes after
Mhm.
because I might go do something Young Boy talking about on there.
Exactly.
It make you pissed off just like they is.
Mhm.
So you watch what you consume,
Yeah.
it'll help your mood a whole lot more.
Uh-huh.
I had to just switch my YouTube, turn every Google on incognito, all that.
Yeah.
Cause man, I was watching some of the stupidest stuff. And I don't you ain't realize.
Yep,
Mhm.
that shit even like the stuff you watch before you go to bed and all that stuff. You know, you wake up trying to figure out why you feel a certain type of way or why you dream about. If you do dream.
And
why
watch
you
the
dream
scary
about
movie
why
the
you-
night before.
Yeah.
You watching a scary
You
movie
jumping
the
and
night
sweating
before.
and shit in your sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Trying to figure out why you had a nightmare.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I told my little girl that she 15. I said, what you was doing last night? TikTok. I said, I'll tell you, stay up to TikTok at night.
Mhm.
Feet moving while she's sleeping.
She told me, turning that rain music on and going to sleep.
So, tell us a little bit about, your situation or your situation that you've been through, and then on top of having to be a barber, but then being a father to your little girl because your little girl has a condition, right?
She got Down syndrome.
Down syndrome. So just tell us, you going through your own mental health problems and then having a daughter with Down syndrome. How has that affected you as a man? You know what I'm saying, as a barber. But what are some of the things since you've been through mental health? Do you have your own little exercise or little things or situations where you know how to deal with her on a better thing? Is that something that
I'm
took
gonna say
you up, down?
to this day, and she's about to be 15 years next month.
Mhm.
So to this day, it's still hard.
Yeah.
I just deal with it different. But as far as how do I don't know, like that's a hard question because I asked myself that before and I said, well, how many people do you know who really is pretty much single father? Like
Mhm.
her grandmother, you know, thank you for that. But how many people do you know, especially barbers, that has their own special needs child by themselves?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Your own
a
child
hurtful
period
thing
about it.
thinking about every day
Mhm.
to this day. It's
I
still
couldn't even
part
imagine.
of the depression that I'm
Yeah.
getting. But nobody ever know that because I deal with it different from the learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
So all the way up, like she's a regular child to me because you get used to anything. You know what I'm saying? Take 30 days to develop a habit.
Right.
And if you ask me, her ass is bad. She better than the regular kids. She get away with stuff because she knows how to play what they call special.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's special, but like I know why it's special because they get away with shit.
So so
Right.
you're saying she's aware of the things she does, or not?
That is 200% of everything.
She know what's up.
And she
She
gets
play
to
them
me. She the
cards.
only one can get me in my feelings.
Cause
Mhm.
daddy though. Cause
And
daddy.
y'all saying that, and I tell my mom that too. I've never been a teenage girl. I don't know how.
It hits different because
So it's
with
hard.
daddy, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
hard.
With daddy, you play him like clay. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna always be his little girl. And for me, I am my daddy's youngest child. So
See,
it was just,
me.
you know, you gonna
Y'all
always.
learning me. It's still a journey. It's
Yeah,
a
you're
journey.
gonna always be in his pockets. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna always place in his heart. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that's where you rest is in his heart.
If I had a
You know what
second
I'm saying?
wife, I'm gonna say it like this: if I had a second wife, that would be she's my second wife. That's how I feel.
That's what it'd be.
She hang up on me. Daddy, what you want when I call? Your breath stink.
She let you know.
Yeah.
So
but I love my child, and it's been great, but it's pros and cons and everything, and I like to tell the cons because a lot of people don't talk about it.
For sure.
So tell us, is that what you already told us, or
What you mean?
you got some more cons that you would tell us, like, with you going through some of the mental health challenges that you've been through, has a lot of it can you say a lot of it came from that, or did a lot of it come
because
from the lifestyle you
because her speech is off a little bit still. You know, it's gonna always be off. That's just how they talk. So sometimes when I talk to her, I don't understand what she's saying. She'll repeat herself so many times, and she start getting frustrated. And I know me as a father, I shouldn't have been working so much, and I should have dedicated time to learning each word and what it means and what she's trying to say. Cause she say the word, it's just she says it in her own way. And she'll tell you, no, that's how I say it. No, that's what I said. I'm not changing it to what you trying to get me to change it to. She for real. So that's very frustrating for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really be like, Lily, you hurt daddy feelings. But she'll be flipping that thing on the phone, watching something else. Like she ain't studying me.
Yeah.
So it's a big challenge, but I don't feel like it's a part of my depression. Because we all know when it comes to kids, dogs, I don't care what it is, that two people play together, it's gonna be some type of clash.
Yeah.
For sure. Some type of clash.
But I feel like clashing is just a part of learning that person.
Learning each other, you know what I'm
and
saying?
once you clash so many times, you tend to correct, or you self-correct, or if that person's told you, you know, this and this, whatever is what you're doing wrong, you tend to correct, you know what I'm saying? And so you don't run into those clashing, because don't nobody like to argue or be at odds with anybody.
So I would say the whole journey is hard. I'm not finna sit here and a lot of people like, you could just do it if you just do this. Nah, yeah, and to an extent, but it's hard. You know what I'm saying? You're not cut for certain stuff. Just do something else until you can figure out how to change your mindset to do it. Because a lot of people probably would have gave up with it. You know what I'm saying? In a situation that I'm in.
And it's crazy that you said that, because I've dealt with suicide.
I believe most people have.
Yeah, and I
tell you.
And I tell people, just because, you know, I put a gun to my head at one point, didn't mean that it stopped there. Because till this day, I still deal with suicidal thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And combating those suicidal thoughts. For me, honestly, it's an everyday thing. Because almost every day I'm having a suicidal thought.
Right, and anybody who's like that, because I'm like that, but I know as soon as it comes, I change my thoughts.
I check myself.
Check yourself.
I check myself.
At the beginning, anybody who can check their self, look in the mirror. Some people can't look in the mirror for 30 seconds. It's crazy.
Man.
And they the ones calling us crazy.
Right. I know it sounds weird.
But we're the ones checking what everybody else going through.
Yep, I know it sounds weird, but and I don't care if it's TMI. I make sure I'm butt ass booty naked, and I stand in the mirror and I talk to myself, and I let myself know everything I want to know about myself. I make sure I know I look good. I make sure I know.
You can't see yourself with clothes on.
Yeah, and so that's the really that's a vulnerable
you can see your
position. Being naked in front of another person is vulnerable. So being naked in front of yourself and looking back at you and having to speak nothing but positive stuff to yourself is very, it can be hard if you're not used to it. But like you said, it takes 30 days to make it happen. And the more you do it, the more you become used to, just used to telling yourself you the shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And being able to walk into the door and present yourself as the human being that you wanna be. So for me, that's where it starts. And I got, I keep sticky notes in my bag. I keep sticky notes in my car. I keep sticky notes in the house, like dead ass on my refrigerator, on my mirror, in my truck. You know what I'm saying? It's sticky notes everywhere, and it's always positive stuff. Whether it was something I wrote to myself or whether something my lady wrote to me, it's something that's saying so I can help me get through my day. You know what I'm saying? Like, be kind to people, Danielle. And that's how I talk to myself. I refer to myself in the third person. because I feel like it's my higher self speaking to myself here.
Right.
And so I always
Exactly
speak
what
to
it is,
myself.
if you ask me.
Yeah, I always speak to myself in the third person, and I make sure I use my full name, because that's who I am. You know,
Right.
that's my given name, and that's what Spirit knows me as. That's what I know me as. That's what my mama know me as. And so I speak to that person, and I make sure that I know,
What it is.
Yeah, what it is every day. You know what I'm saying? Because can't nobody else give me no validation for shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me I am, or you can't tell me I ain't.
It's something between you and source.
Yeah.
Whatever that source
Whatever that
is.
source is, right?
You know what I'm saying? It's between you and source. The rest don't matter. Nobody else really matters. They ain't even really real to me. We in this little old matrix. They ain't even really real to me.
Shit,
So
time
real.
ain't even real, my man.
If you ask me,
I feel as I feel I just been stuck on my thoughts. Cause y'all say y'all have suicidal thoughts a lot, and we about to wrap it up. But for me, I've been in a suicide state. You know what I'm saying? I tried it. I've talked to people about it, but for me, it's like I don't sit in a suicidal state every day. I think death have just trapped my mind in so many ways. For me, I couldn't kill myself because I care so much about other people. You know what I'm saying?
With suicide, you don't
Like,
fuck about
like,
to me,
like that's
my
why I never
definition
did.
of having a suicidal thought to me is, I'm gonna tell the truth. If you want an attention from whatever or that person who was
It's
triggering
because
you,
Right.
Suicide tends to start when you feel alone. Not loneliness, because loneliness is it is what it is. But when you feel alone and you feel like there's nobody there, suicidal thoughts start there. And like he said, you're seeking attention, because for me, when I did go through it at that moment, it was me looking for attention from people I wasn't getting the attention from. And what stopped me was I was making phone call after phone call, and I said, and on the last call, I said, bitch, if this girl don't pick up the phone, because I had called so many people, and I was like, if this person don't pick up the phone, shit, it's up. And it was on the last ring, and I was sitting there like this, you know what I'm saying? And it was on the last ring.
I get exactly what you're saying, because I had a close partner who told me, and I'm talking about just made me realize this. We all know what to do, but that's why you need close people that understand you like we understand each other. Like, you need people that you can call at least and be like, I just went through this, or something similar that you can vent to, or anything like this. But you can't just sit there in your thoughts. They always say, even in the Bible, like that's the worst place to be. So
Right.
It is.
if that's the worst place to be, we gotta know we can't just always work ourselves to death, because I did that and went to the hospital 3 times. You feel me? I done almost died 3 times just from overworking and stressing.
Yeah, I've done that too.
So
That's what I wanted to ask you about. Just the fact that, because you told me at one point you was DJing.
yeah, I was
And
DJing
leaving from the club DJ and then going cut hair all day. And, but you taking all these substances to keep yourself going.
Yeah, folks. So what I would do is just being told lounge. This was probably almost 15 years ago, so it don't matter. We told y'all drugs is not the way to go.
Told y'all in the beginning.
That's what I used to do, right? Alright, I'll get up early if I even want to sleep, and I'm taking something that's gonna boost me up. I go cut hair. I'm cutting hair from probably, like I do sometimes now, early in the morning all the way until maybe probably like, let's say 7, 8 o'clock. You know what time you'll start getting ready for the club and time pre-game. I cut my own hair. Now it's time to boom. It's time to take something else so I can
You
deal
about
with
9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 9:30, 10. But I was DJing, so I gotta be there early.
Yeah. So you
know what I'm
getting
saying?
off of work.
I'm getting off of work by 8, and I'm edging myself up. Woo. That's all I can do. You know, get it right though. And then I take another substance to keep me up. I wouldn't go get an energy drink. That's bad too. I wouldn't go get nothing. I would take something and it'll keep me up so I can go DJ at the club that night. Then ain't no telling what I do after that, because I'm still up. I done took the thing too late, but I wasn't knowledgeable about nothing I was doing.
We just taking it.
You're doing
Right, because I know what it does. So when I did that, I did it for probably 2-3 years, and then I said, man, this gonna kill me one day. And what happened is, I just stopped, and that's when the withdrawal started. That's when I started having seizures. I started having seizures, like just from stopping.
Yeah.
And that's how I knew how powerful drugs were. You get what I'm saying? So I went through that for probably like 10 years straight before I actually said I'm gonna correct this. I'm gonna get a real doctor who I still work with today. Shout out Dr. Stone. I just went to.
Hey, we shout out. We be giving everybody their flowers.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? I went from the street, like bro said, like I went from the street to the professional. Instead of trying to do it myself, because that's really what I was doing the whole time. I really wasn't doing drugs because this made me happy. I just want to run from my problems. Nah, I really was doing drugs so I could work.
Right.
And everybody's problems, it be similar like that too. But everybody look at them and downgrade them and, you know, talk bad about them and put them in a box because they chose to do something to really do what they really need.
Right. We just trying to make it. We just trying to get through another day.
Yeah. And I just want to say that self-medication does not stop at prescription drugs or illegal drugs,
right?
Or alcohol. Self-medication can be anything.
Right.
Everybody has their vices, and it can be anything from. And I'm just gonna go down a small list, but it can be porn. It can be cigarettes. It can be weed. It can be goddamn pills. It can be alcohol. It can be video games. It can be working too much. It can be, you know what I'm saying, driving, you know what I'm saying, when you get off and you just drive all day.
Right.
Insomnia, you know, self-medication can be anything that helps you cope.
Get away.
Get away or cope with whatever you need to do or want to do. And your body does not know the difference between drugs and overeating type shit.
Nah, that's a big stress.
If you're addicted to something, you're addicted to something. And when you stop, like he said, you're gonna go through withdrawals. And that's one of the biggest telltale signs is if you're struggling to stop. And when you do stop, you start going through withdrawals. Withdrawals can be many different things. But like I said, self-medication does not just stop at illegal drugs and stuff like that. So I just want to say that it can be many vices, and you have to check, like we said earlier, you have to check yourself, and you have to do introspection, and you have to take self-accountability and look at yourself and be able to recognize, diagnose, and address the situations at hand.
And this is what it is. Do not self-medicate. First step is getting help.
Yeah, for sure.
Get out your pride,
Y'all
bro.
about to
Get
say
out
take
your
the pride
ego.
away.
You gotta set that aside, man. If you really want to be better, because it's a choice. You gotta make a choice,
conscious choice,
to really be like who you want to be, and that can be whoever. You could just want to be better as a person. You know what I'm saying? But go get help. You don't have to be a counselor. You don't have to be a therapist. It's whatever you feel like would help you, whatever resonates with you, whatever makes you feel good about going to do, go and do that. We're not saying go to the liquor store and go get a whole goddamn drink and go drink the whole thing. I just took a little bit just now to drink a little bit so I can, ain't nothing wrong with it.
Too much of anything is bad.
Exactly. You can do too many push-ups.
Yeah.
Something wrong.
Everybody got their
You
vices.
can pick your boogers too hard and hurt your nose.
Like, you start bleeding.
Don't overdo it. Whatever it is, don't overdo
Don't
it.
overdo nothing, because if you look at it, and when my doctor told me, he said, your medicine really now it's just stress medicine. CEOs, he said, this is what entrepreneurs, he said 99% of them do. We don't see that. Because we think surface level at all times. We're programmed to do that, but we think surface level so much. We have to get a professional, get help, to get us to get a different perspective on what we need to do. Because, or make us feel good about what we even doing anyway, because we'll beat ourselves up.
You your worst critic.
Yeah, it'll go real left, and it'll get worse then.
I think the most important thing is just being able to first recognize it and admit it. Cause for everybody it was different. Just us three sitting here, everybody was different. Like now, you know, you've been having a doctor for years that's been helping you out. My problem was the doctor. The doctor never taught. He just gave me prescriptions.
Exactly.
So,
well,
you
now,
know
I ain't
what I'm
gonna lie. I went through probably 3 doctors, and I sure went
That's what I'm
back
saying.
to the
So,
first 6.
yeah.
Yeah, I found one who matched me.
Exactly.
He resonated with me. He made me feel good the first visit, and I'm like, okay, cool. And man, I gotta come in. We just talk on the thing.
Right. But see, she first visit, I got my script. I took it. I want to say the first couple times I felt a little weird. Then when I felt good, I'm like, oh, okay. Damn, I'm talking a lot. I don't know how to talk. Shit,
I'm
you know?
ready to work.
And the next thing you know, fucking 5, 6, 7 years have passed by, and you've been talking too much. You too happy. You too jolly. You addicted.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Cause they should be, and then that's another reason you should have help because they
Right.
tell you when to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I took depression medicine before, but I took that for like 2 months.
Yeah.
It was gone too.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm
He
saying.
told
So
me exactly when,
it's all
exactly
different.
how. So medicine can be bad, but it's
And I know y'all
Or
talking
you
about
just don't have the right person
talking
telling you
about
what's going
doctors. So with me, I'm a holistic individual. So I'm very much into natural healing, and I don't like doing all the extra shit.
Let me throw this out there before you do that, my bad.
Go ahead.
Cause I am too, and people know me for that. But I'm so big on balance, I'm willing to bump my head sometimes, and I don't never relapse or nothing. I'm not gonna do both.
Right.
Sometimes I'm straight holistic, like I was telling him earlier, he went to go eat. Where you went to go eat, bro?
I went to Henderson's.
Yeah,
Shout out to Henderson's.
But for the
that
last
3-piece
week,
Kool-Aid.
I've been plant-based.
Yeah,
See
so
what I'm saying?
I'm vegan as well. But that's just me. Like I was going to I gotta find a new botanica, but I was going to a botanica and everything. And if you don't know what a botanica is, that's where you go get all your natural herbs. You can get, Reiki or whatever, and you can get natural healing that way as well. So that's what a botanica does. But that's the route I went in order to help heal myself.
No. I'm saying that to say, like, I did that to get me off, but when I came back outside and started dealing with the word, that's when I went to a professional because I knew I have to be like a holistic master like Dr. CB to actually fix my problems. Everybody's unique, so mine was a little more extreme than just switch straight over.
Mine is up there, but it was just my choice of the avenue to go down because the journey worked best for me. I still
100%.
Yeah, I know. I still talk to therapists and shit like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's still balance.
Yeah. I still talk to therapists and stuff like that. But as far as going to like a doctor, I go the holistic route versus going the Western route.
Right. See, I wanna go all the way. That's what my journey has been.
Yeah. So man, teas,
going
all types
way.
of herbs,
Yeah,
all
even,
types of
even like counselors. I go to like
candles, all
indigenous
types
people
of shit.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
For counseling and stuff.
Yeah.
They do it a little different.
Yeah. So it's many different routes that you can take.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you have to figure out what works best for you, your personality, your journey, and who resonates best with you. Like you said, mental health, like we said, it affects a lot of us, especially in minority communities, and the percentage is a lot higher than it is in I'll say Caucasian communities, just because we don't think it's okay to seek help.
Right.
So like
they grow up with help.
Because they're taught that. We weren't taught that, like you said earlier. We weren't taught that it's okay to seek help.
Especially masculine. Like if you masculine, like you automatically like, man, fuck this shit.
Yeah, it can be seen like a weakness.
Bro. You know what I'm saying? What is that gonna do, bro? You still in the same place you was 5 years.
So why not?
Yeah,
why not? Try it. If it don't work, it don't work. But I bet you it's gonna work.
Right.
Every time, 100% guaranteed that help helps. help. So today, we didn't touch on
We might need to do another one.
We might need to do a part 2.
Hey, part 2 coming soon. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
sure.
I ain't gonna lie, I was late to.
But I was late to.
But you showed up.
Yeah, you showed up, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, like somebody who didn't show up. I'ma holler at you when I see you, man. I ain't gonna say no name.
Yeah.
We'll see
You
on
know
part
who he is.
2. Hold on.
He gonna go up to the camera.
We'll see it on part 2.
Uncle Cutta in the motherfucking building, man.
Hey, y'all look out for Cutta cut classes really
Yes.
coming soon. We putting it together actually right now.
Mhm.
I've been running rhythm since 5 o'clock.
Throw your
But,
Instagram on there, man.
On Instagram at Trend Cutta. On TikTok at Uncle Cutta. We just set one of them up. You know, I'm a little old school. I feel like now I'm not working. But
You
you
don't
can catch
get
me on
together.
Facebook at official Trend Cutta.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Boom, bam.
You understand me?
Hey, go
Yeah.
ahead and follow that. Y'all already know where to reach us at and
You already know.
how to find us on IG, Facebook, and YouTube and everything else. If you don't know, on YouTube is Barber Cave Sit Down. On Instagram is also the Barber Cave Sit
Barber
Down.
Cave Sit Down.
If you want to follow us individually, I am the Southern Barber,
Yeah.
also known as Danny, and this is, go ahead.
Trill Lady Barber 91. Trill, the one and only, man. Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode.
Hey, and I really want to say, I really
Yeah.
want to appreciate y'all.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people do not want to talk about this.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I really say, you bleep this out on the edit, y'all pussy.
I'm not
Or on the
doing that.
bloopers or something. Put it on the, y'all pussy. You really pussy when you go on the features.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah,
gangster.
real rap.
You're not gangster to me if you got a tough face on all the
Real
time.
rap.
bro.
You gotta put your pride
That
to the
don't
side,
scare
man.
me.
Get some help.
A real person,
One of these dudes gonna judo chop your ass one day.
Yeah.
You think he ain't tough, but
A
he
real
tough
person
to
handles their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And they
yeah.
can control them bitches
you.
too.
That keep you real.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
real.
Yep.
Yup.
So thank y'all again for tuning in to another episode of the Barber Cave Sit Down. Hope y'all made it through the whole episode. And
Tell a
catch us
friend,
on the
tell a
next one.
friend.
Yeah, tell a friend and catch us on the next one.
You understand me? It's gonna be the